Hey, welcome back to the Slapdash podcast. I am your host today, and I'm here with my co-host.
Ugh.
As you can see, he obviously just woke up from a 25-hour nap.
Something like that. Also, I'm a bit under the weather still.
Yeah, sounds like it, honestly. Also, it turns out I had COVID when I was sick.
Wait, really?
Yes, apparently it was COVID that I had because my mom's friend caught COVID from one of his friends, and then she caught it from him. Then then Marcus caught it from her. Then Ed also caught it from her. Then I caught it from Ed. I'm honestly
You all get
surprised. I'm
tested?
honestly no, but we're pretty sure that's what it was. I'm
Ugh.
honestly surprised I didn't get you sick. Well, maybe I did. I don't know, but yeah. So that was cool, interesting little subject of events I just found out today. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about in today's episode. In today's episode, we're just gonna doing something just a little chill. We're not doing like any of my other episodes where it's like, oh, wheel of debate or anything like that. We're just gonna. Hello, we're taking a little break in this video to show you our new sponsor for our channel, Dubby. Say hello to our sponsor, Dubby, an up-and-coming energy drink that uses no maltodextrin filters or artificial dyes and is packed with amino acids.
Nootropic and nootropic and 150 milligram of caffeine per serving, as well as having zero sugar and is completely gluten free.
Check it out at www.dubby.gg and use our code slapdash for 10% off and to support our little channel here. It would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much, Debbie, for sponsoring our tiny little and up and coming channel. Thank you all for coming back on the channel of Slapdash, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of it. Thank you very much.
Talk about our favorite characters in fiction. Could be anime characters, could be from movies, TV shows, just anything, any character from fiction. They could be overpowered, they could be underpowered, they could be just like that random side character that dies 10 minutes in. Not what it is. But yes. Alright, since you're co-host today, do you want to start us out? Or should I start us out?
Well, as the glorious host of ours, you can go ahead and start.
Alright, so first character I got on my list here is Adam from Record of Ragnarok. What do you think about him?
Yeah, in Record of Ragnarok, Adam was fucking sick, bro. He was awesome, and the fight between him and Zeus was just perfection.
I know it's just like it's like they introduce him as like a character who hates the gods the most out of anyone. When in and like that was the reason he agreed to fight. When in reality, it was just because he fought because he wanted to protect his children from annihilation, which was
Uh,
and like the best line I think was like when he said, "In what world does a father need a reason to protect his very own children?" Like it's a line from the English dub, and like every time I hear it, it just gives me fucking goosebumps.
yeah, seriously, that fight was amazing. I mean, of course, when it comes to the anime, the animation could have been better to make the fight a bit more, well, cooler to watch. Although the overall fight itself was still really enjoyable to watch, and in the manga too, that shit was just it was great. It was fucking amazing, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of awesome characters from Record of Ragnarok. The way they do those characters is just amazing. Like they have some sense of historical relevance, but at the same time they give it that spark of like creativity.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that there are certain characters they took out of that show, like say Jack the Ripper, like no one actually really knows who the heck that person was. Could could have been, I don't know, any number of people. Hell, it could have even been a woman. It
True.
was just like a rumor that it was just like a label because, well, not much of a rumor because there were, prostitutes who were being killed. They just didn't know, who it was.
Yeah, Jack the Ripper in Record of Ragnarok was also a really interesting character in the way they had it like the reason he killed was he enjoyed seeing the color of fear, like the aura of fear.
On top of that, it's like, uh, on top of that, like the way he was born, it was like he was born in a brothel. His mother was a prostitute. And
Yeah.
on top of everything about the character, it's like it's so weird the fact that they just picked out a character from history, and they used Jack the Ripper and they made him fight Hercules.
I
That's one of the
mean,
funniest things.
it's a really good yin and yang. Like
That's true.
ultimate heroicness and justice versus well, evil, I guess. But
Yeah,
it's interesting because the evil this time was the human side, while the good was the god side.
yeah, that is an interesting factor.
Although even though Hercules is like, well, in the anime at least, he's portrayed as he was like originally a human who was turned into a god. At least that's how they did him in the anime.
Yeah, it wasn't the whole thing where he was where Zeus impregnated Hercules' mother and he was born. And of course, there was the whole thing about him drinking the ambrosia, which is what gave him the godly-like powers. And the ambrosia is something in Greek mythology. It's a very powerful essence that, when consumed, can give you godlike powers, which is exactly what it was in the anime. Although, of course, if those of courageous and heroic intent can only use said power, if those of whom who are evil consume the ambrosia, they die.
They just fucking
And of
implode.
course, yeah, and of course in our reality, it's also just a really good food.
Hmm.
Ambrosia is pretty tasty.
Pretty tasty. Pretty much just a little num nums.
One too many ambrosias, I gotta tell you. Hercules really bulked up because he ate too many ambrosias. Look at the fella, he's fucking humongous.
That's true.
Anyways,
But yeah, so Adam, he's one of my characters. Uh, how many characters do I have here? I have one, two, three, four. I have 7 characters listed. Alright. So go ahead. What's a character you really like?
all from fiction.
Yes.
Let's see. If I were to, I want to start off with, I want to start off with a very good piece of media: Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super.
Of course, of course.
If I were to pick, well, yeah, I mean, my favorite character from that show is has got to be Gohan.
That's a lot of people's favorites, actually.
Well, yeah, because Gohan is honest to God, one of the coolest characters throughout the show, especially with his moments. With the moment he had during the Cell Saga at the end when he turned Super Saiyan 2 and absolutely whooped the shit out of Cell.
That moment when
And
in the
then,
Buu saga when he came back to Earth and just
yeah,
absolutely manhandled Super Buu.
yeah. And then recently in Dragon Ball Super Superhero when he went, like Beast Gohan, which I found out recently that Beast Gohan was originally a fan-made concept that Toriyama put into them. You
Gohan
know,
Blaiko.
yeah, originally it was a fan concept that was turned into an actual transformation, and the fact that Toriyama made it into an actual transformation is really cool.
Yeah, it's funny. It was actually
May he
yeah,
rest in peace.
I think when those memes started, it was the Tournament of Power. Pretty sure when those memes like Gohan Blanco and Ed Hermano started.
Uh, uh,
Cause like there was a
hold
bunch
on a
of
second, I
fan.
gotta burp.
Alright.
Burp. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
it was like during the Tournament of Power, there's like a big old theory that Gohan was gonna like have a transformation, like a white hair transformation, but then it ended up being Goku instead.
Kind of funny. And on
And
top of that,
I
it's
have
like,
no clue where fucking El Hermano came from though.
what's
Like a
El
fucking
Hermano?
Mexican egghead Jiren. No, conehead Jiren. Sorry, Mexican conehead Jiren.
El Hermano.
Yeah, literally. Like I'm like El Hermano. It's like I don't know exactly. It's like this like weird, like fan made older brother Jiren or some shit.
I can imagine just out of fucking nowhere, someone comes out of nowhere. He's just in the tournament. He like strikes a pose, and all you hear is El Hermano. Then you hear that like traditional like riff of a guitar. And then you just hear the strings being plugged. Din, 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 din,
Yeah,
din.
those things were memes for such a long time. Same thing with the Ultra
Yeah, I
Instinct
mean,
Shaggy shit. Bro,
oh
Ultra
yeah, the Ultra
Instinct was
Instinct
Ultra
Shaggy.
Ultra Instinct became one of the biggest memes of like the year that Dragon Ball Super was at its peak. It became the biggest meme.
Yeah, when it came to Ultra Instinct Shaggy, that happened mainly because of there was a YouTube video of someone who edited the Ultra Instinct theme into a fight scene in Scooby Doo, where the fight scene took place in a movie called Scooby Doo and the Legend of the Phantom Sword,
Yep.
where where Shaggy there was a point where Shaggy became so terrified at a certain point where he just completely went into a state of neurotic fear to the point where if he were to see anything remotely terrifying, he would freeze and pretty much become paralyzed. So they took him to a hypnotic doctor so that they can hypnotize him in order to overcome his fear. Although something messed up and they needed a simple word to transform him and snap him out of that trance, although they didn't know the word
Hmm.
or phrase. And the phrase was, "This is bad," although they didn't know that. And they would say it randomly throughout the movie. And at one point, he was in a biker bar, and there were these bikers who were tearing the place apart. And then the phrase was said, and then he just started kicking the shit out of the bikers, which
He just massacred the bikers in the room.
hmm,
Rated
yeah,
R version. He just fucking rips one's arm off and beats another one with it.
yeah. So, anyways, straying a little off topic now. Like I said,
Yeah.
Gohan. Now,
Sorry.
Now, of course, there were certain points where Gohan continued to surpass his dad in ultimate, like in overall power. Like in Super Saiyan 2, he surpassed pretty much everyone in the Cell Saga. The amount of power he was able to obtain was incredible. And then I'm not exactly sure, but did he surpass like Super Saiyan 3 when he went Ultimate Gohan in the Buu Saga?
That is something that has been very much debated, cause in Super Saiyan 3, Goku pretty much whooped Majin Buu or Fat Buu. There's like the debate of whether or not a Super Buu was the same strength or was weaker than Majin Buu, cause technically Super Buu is like it's still Majin Buu with the same pieces, just in a different form. But so far, the main conclusion has been that yes, Ultimate Gohan was stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like the power scaling of the Saiyans in the show, with fusions included, was Vegeta. It was Vegeta, Gohan. No, Vegeta, Goku, Gotenks, and then Gohan, and then Vegeta obviously at the strongest, but still. Because Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks was comparable to Ultimate Gohan, and at some way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah.
But also something I was interested about is like when it comes to like the ultimate transformation and the beast transformation, are those like reflections of Gohan's power when it comes to his human side or his Saiyan side?
Um, you see, that's the thing. People is they see him as different sides when they're not different sides. He's just a human. He's half human, half Saiyan. It's both sides at the same time at all times. It's like his ultimate form. It's like his potential unleashed. It's like a form that fully releases his potential. That's like he basically goes Super Saiyan without going Super Saiyan. Like that kind
Hmm.
of deal.
That makes sense.
But his beast form, that's a whole other color. Honestly, the closest thing we have to it is Piccolo's thing, where it's like he has his potential unleash form, and then yeah, because it's not the same thing either. Because Piccolo has the same thing. He has a potential unleash form in the superhero movie, and then he has Orange Piccolo, which is kind of like a mutated ultimate form, similar to Beast Gohan. Because if you think about it, they're the exact same thing, just with different races.
Good point. Also, I've heard a lot of questions about whether or not. So, did Gohan surpass like MUI Goku? Is he stronger than Mastered
Um,
Ultra Instinct did Beast Form?
in the current manga, actually they did. Actually, they fought in the current manga. They did like like a sparring match. I think yeah, like the most recent manga chapter was Beast Gohan and Ultra Instinct Goku sparring, and so far it looked like Goku still had a pretty high upper hand. He still had the upper hand a lot. And then Goku. Then pretty sure in like after the indefinite hiatus is over, which probably gonna be a couple months or something for Dragon Ball Super. They're probably gonna see Gohan versus Broly at one point.
Hmm, that'd be interesting.
But sadly, with the death of Akira Toriyama, rest in peace, Toyotaro and all that are taking a couple months, hell, probably a year to, grieve and plan what's next for Dragon Ball.
Which is understandable.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometime in the future, we might see Gohan versus Broly, which would be pretty cool. Like the two characters who debatably have the most potential in the series.
Very
Like,
true.
considering Broly, like this motherfucker, then have had no proper training, and he got to the level where Goku and Vegeta needed to become fucking Gogeta, and to the point where Gogeta needed to go Super Saiyan Blue to beat him.
Yeah, that's very interesting to think about considering how powerful Broly is just based on pure emotion alone. With his anger rising and his fury continuously growing, he was able to go into like that times 10 Ozaru state without actually transforming
Akari,
into a
yeah,
great ape.
yeah, the Atari.
And
Akari?
then
No,
he
it's the
went into
Akari. Yeah, it's the Akari transformation.
the what was it?
Just Super Saiyan.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah, just Super Saiyan.
which put him above Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta fighting him at once.
Really weird. Well, really cool, but yeah.
Yeah, power scaling in Super is kind of weird,
I mean, power scaling with
especially in the
I mean, hell,
manga.
power scaling.
Cause
Yeah, I mean,
the thing about in the manga, so like, Goku apparently, well, it's like I guess it's the same in the manga and in the anime. Goku in the manga, or I guess Super Saiyan God Goku, like, Battle of God Saga, Super Saiyan God Goku, was said to make Beerus fight at about 80, like 70, 80%, right? Like, and that was Super Saiyan God Goku without having the transformation at all. But now, currently, in like now the current things, a super like a Ultra Ego Vegeta and like Super Ultra Instinct Goku still stand no chance against Beerus currently. It's like yeah, it's like Beerus still pretty much one taps them both in their strongest forms, which is very inconsistent with the power scaling of it.
yeah, it
Unless you like make the argument that Beerus is still always training and always getting stronger.
I guess it's a point to be like, I'm guessing there was a point to be like, okay, so these characters are getting a bit too strong. Let's put some shackles on their power real quick. That's
Then there
probably what the whole decision was.
Then there was Frieza Black. That's his whole fucking thing
Yeah,
where
which was able
there's
to,
one.
what was able
He
to
was
one
able to
shot.
one shot a completely healed Ultra Ego Vegeta, and true Ultra Instinct Goku.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting to think about. They were in battle damage after the fight with who were they fighting again in that
Gassed. They
instance?
were fighting Gassed, but they were
Gassed, yeah.
healed. They were healed after the fight, so they were at 100%.
It's funny, and then Frieza came out of nowhere, whooped their asses with a simple one shot from this transformation. And even if they weren't completely healed, like say a little damaged and a little worn out, that's still pretty impressive from Frieza's transformation.
Yeah. Then there's like the whole debate that sprouted from that was, will a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta or Gogeta be enough, or like will there be an Ultra Instinct Vegeta, or will there be like those fucking old like the Ultra Vegito type deal where it's like Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct combined in Vegito or whatever. Which that was the whole crazy power scaling mess there.
Yeah, but anyways, as I was saying, Gohan.
Yes, Gohan. Well, what's the technically talking about like Gohan where he stands power wise? So
Yeah, because when it comes to like, I mean, then again, I want to talk about his overall character too. His overall
yeah.
character is like, I also love the goofy kind of more human side he has compared to his Saiyan blood when he's fighting. Like when he's researching and a lot, like he has his actual job. It's like, what is he in? What is his job again? He's
Biologists
like,
or something.
yeah, it's some sort of field of biology. I forget what it's called, but he studies he studies like
Some kind of
insects.
insect biology or something like that.
Yeah, I love how goofy and just like how overall kind of just like kind of nonchalant and like relaxed he is at certain points. But also when it comes to a certain situation, he's really good at being a leader and making a strategy. And and of course, and he's a great father too. He loves his daughter Pan. That's just adorable. Gohan overall as a character, he's very fun and entertaining to watch, especially that point where he's like talking about like the ants to Piccolo in the superhero movie,
Super
where he
Saiyan
called them
ants.
Super Saiyans. Yeah, God, Gohan is just honestly a overall lovable character. And it's kind of funny to think just how intense his training was with Piccolo, then Piccolo kind of taking it more easy on Pan.
Yeah, it's true. Cause when he trained Gohan, he just threw him into a mountain and just left him alone to survive.
Yeah, his first bit of training, he straight up just chucked his ass at a fucking mountain and then just like left him in the wilderness to fend for himself. Like Gohan was able to kill a dinosaur, forage for his own food. He was pretty good at like he was pretty good at surviving for himself though. That's the thing. I mean,
It's
on top of
just
that, it's
it's
like
just
when
so
he turned into
funny.
a
It's just so funny. Fucking Piccolo. The first day is like, see that mountain? Well, you're gonna just fucking chucks him into the goddamn fucking giant fucking mountain. Then Gohan proceeds to just obliterate it, just
that
erases
reminds me
it.
of Team Four Star.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like what they said, what they made Piccolo say in that point in Team Four Star. He's like, "You see that mountain? Yeah, I'm gonna throw you at it." Then he just picks him up. He's like, and he's like, "Okay, okay." Any
Fucking
moment now, he's gonna unleash his power.
he
And
fucking
then Gohan
thunder
just
cunted him at it.
then he just hits the mountain, and Piccolo's like, "Oh shit! Oh fuck!
Oh
Oh
yeah,
god! That's
that's right. In the bridge, they just had him slam into the mountain. Forgot about that.
and
Jesus.
Gohan in a bridge is also pretty funny.
They have him like hyper intelligent, which is like I like it's so funny how they do that. And then it's like every time he says something smart, he just gets called a nerd by Piccolo. It's like nerd, like
Yeah, that's a DBZ abridged. That is way too funny.
God. Think about it. Kid Gohan had a traumatic fucking childhood. He got his fucking neck broken on a distant planet. Like Jesus, he had to fucking fight his own dad who like got his body taken over. He had to stand up to fucking Frieza of all characters. He fucking watched
Yeah,
Krillin get blown to smithereens.
he had one hell of a childhood.
He had to like watch his mentor just be erased in front of him.
Yeah, then there's that one point and period of time where he was able to, like relax for a bit when he was fighting against when he was before the whole Boo saga, in between the Cell saga, where he was just a kid, when he was just a teenager for a bit going to school.
Honestly, I don't blame Gohan like getting cocky whenever he gets a new transformation. I don't blame him for getting cocky because of the shit he's gone through.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because he ends up getting incredibly cocky, and just that is a downside of his
That's his
strategy.
that's his Saiyan genes showing through.
Yeah, his pride.
His
That's
Vegito
him just
show. That's his Vegeta
getting
show.
very prideful in himself. I
Well,
mean,
which to be
of course,
fair, whenever he does transform, he is the strongest motherfucker in the room at that point. So
yeah. He gains incredible leaps of power. It's also mainly because he's a hybrid Saiyan, and because he's a hybrid Saiyan, he has access to like gigantic stores of potential ability and power, which and within transformation wise as well. That allows him to like overcome his limits like time and time again.
the thing
Of
is,
course,
we've never seen any other hybrid species with Saiyans, so that makes the question of like, are humans the
yeah, it's a good
like
point.
best possible combination, or is there a race that would be a better combination? That's like
That's a good
still
point.
humanoid.
It's also mainly because like the other hybrid Saiyans that we've seen shatter their limits are like Future Trunks with like stuff like Super Saiyan Rage, which was not exactly one of the most powerful transformations, but it was still pretty impressive. Then of course you have like modern time Trunks and like Goten, which they themselves aren't exactly the most powerful either.
Then you have
They
Gotenks.
don't.
I honestly consider Gotenks his own like hybrid. Like we have Gotenks being the second ever Super Saiyan 3.
That's true.
Like he did this. He mastered Super Saiyan 3 in about a year time. Yeah, about a year because the hyperbolic time chamber they were in there. No, they were in there for less than a year actually, and they managed to master Super Saiyan 3 just
Which
by seeing it once.
Yeah, that's true. With the power of Goten and Trunks combined, of course, that kind of really goes into the idea, can they just transform into Super Saiyan 3 normally?
I think they can't because they can't even go Super Saiyan 2 by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Gohan was able to go Super Saiyan 1 to Super Saiyan 2 by himself as well. Although I think Gohan as a whole, he has a better chance of unlocking like higher Super Saiyan levels more, easily compared to others,
But why would he
hybrid
need to is the
Saiyans.
question because he's got his ultimate
Yeah,
form,
that's a good point.
which currently brought him on the level of Super Saiyan Blue Goku
Yeah.
in the
And
current
of course his beast
form,
transformation, which was impressive.
which brought him on par with Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku.
Yeah, he was because that fight in the manga, he was able to keep he was on par with him for a while, and he was able to keep up with him with the impressive power that he displayed. And it even shocked everyone around him when he used the transformation itself and the way he was able to keep up with Goku.
Yeah, by everyone. That's like Broly, Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis. Because they had that fight on Beerus's planet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
so like I said, overall Gohan is just an amazing, awesome character. So, who's next on your list?
I have Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins, who is
Rising
now
Sun.
Escanor. He is the definition of fuck around and find out. He won literally every single fight he was ever thrown in, except for the one
He's
against
the,
the original demon, where his main source of power was cut off.
yeah. I mean, yeah, when it comes to Seven Deadly Sins, my information, like, my knowledge of it is, like, very short
Yeah,
because I haven't, like,
that's why I'll be very very detailed with what I say. So, example of one of his fights. So he was fighting against one of the Ten Commandments. Galen, he had the commandment of truth, where pretty much his commandment is if anyone lies in front of him, they get turned to stone. Same rule applies for him. If he lies, he gets turned into stone. And Escanor, he sat there and said that he was the pinnacle of all races and proceeded to not turn to stone. Which meant at that point, he was indeed the pinnacle of all races. Then proceeded to just
Kinda-
absolutely destroy two of the characters who pretty much pieced up every other sin they fought.
Funny to think about.
Like, the thing is about Escanor, it's same thing. He also fought this other character who had the ability to make anyone who feels hatred around him just like lose all of their abilities to fight. Like, but Escanor, his big ass just walks right up to him and says, "Why would he bear hatred towards someone lower than him?" Just straight up called his enemy weak to his face. And it's like, and then this fight was fucking crazy. Then the other one against what's another good one? When he like
Wasn't there a fight?
all of his interactions with his enemies and even comrades are just so funny. Cause it's like he's prideful, but at the same time he's got the fucking strength to back up his pridefulness.
I mean, he is the sin of pride, right?
Yep, he's Escanor, the lion son of pride.
Which makes sense considering like a group of lions is called a pride.
Yes, yes. But it's like every
Wasn't
single fight he was in, he was cocky as fuck and still won.
Which is a funny dynamic because mostly when it comes to anime, when a character is cocky, they normally lose.
Yeah, but with him, it doesn't matter. He wins either way. That's just how fucking overpowered he fucking was. He was, I'd say even near the end of the series when we had characters like Demon King Meliodas, who had the ability to like almost warp like reality. Escanor was still probably up there with him. But it's the thing is his own downfall was from his own. Well, hang on, spoilers for Seven Deadly Sins. In the next 5 minutes probably. So it's like also you don't care, right? You don't care about spoilers.
Yeah.
For that? Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
pretty
don't
much
care.
near the end of Escanor's end, the only way that he died was because of his own power being too much for his body to handle. Like
Effectively,
he died because he was simply too powerful for his body to handle, and like he over exerted his power to like its full extent, and that just caused it to burn up his life force and just like
pretty much
turn to ash.
Yeah, so he accidentally killed himself.
No, he did it on purpose so he could fight the Demon King, but yeah.
Of course.
Cause his power comes from a grace called there's the commandments and then there's graces. His grace is from one of the archangels, which are like the 10 commandments on the goddess race, which are like the good quote unquote of the series. And it's like he got the power from Mael, who's like a fallen archangel, and like his grace left him and went into Escanor. And the grace, it was just too powerful for his human body to handle. That's what ended up being his downfall in the end of it.
That makes sense.
But the thing is, dude is also the ultimate simp at the same time.
What, there's
he doesn't like. There's only one person who he listens to when he's in his fucking, like sun daytime state, and that's fucking Merlin. That's the only person he listens to. It's so funny.
Yes, my Merlin.
It's like he's like the ultimate. It's like I don't know. It's just funny.
Merlin, cast a spell on me, why don't you? Merlin, put me in a trance, why don't you?
Oh my god. But
Merlin,
yeah.
please pull out your titties.
But yeah, dude is like the ultimate powerhouse in that show. And it's just like his ideology and the way he fights is just fucking incredible.
You see, that's what you need, a Seven Deadly Sins abridged.
There actually is. It's called the Seven Deadly Schmucks,
Oh my god,
but they only
that's
have
funny.
season one abridged so far.
Uh,
Well, from last time I
uh,
saw it, it was like so. It was so fucking funny. They have like Meliodas like aggressively Scottish. It's so funny. All right.
aggressively Scott.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. What's your next character?
Well, my next character, well, just like talking about topics we've talked before on this, I'm gonna go ahead and go into Scooby Doo. Now, my favorite character in Scooby Doo is just Shaggy.
Hmm.
That's the thing. I mean, of course, that's probably a generic answer for most. Like, it's either Shaggy or Scooby Doo. But of course, I mean, when it comes to all the characters, I mean, there's a reason why I love Shaggy because when it came to me when I was younger, he was always my favorite character.
People sleep on
Mainly
Fred for
because,
real.
huh?
Fred is a very slept on character. Bro was throwing hands in the
I
original
mean, yeah, that's the
series.
thing. Fred was honestly one of the best characters in the entire franchise. He was a role model. He was someone to look up to. He was a really cool guy. He was always so sympathetic. He was nice, although he had a weird obsession with traps. He was a very cool guy, though.
A weird obsession with traps. That's a funny way to put it.
Well, yeah, because I thought it only started with like in like Mystery Incorporated, where they gave him the trait of his obsession with traps. But in earlier movies, like in earlier Scooby-Doo movies, he just continuously was like talking about traps, and even in like the Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Phantom Sword, he uh, he failed a science project because it was a trap, and it also because it hurt his teacher.
All right. Okay. Enough of Fred.
He,
Shaggy. Shaggy, right? Sorry.
yeah,
I
so
didn't mean to
Shaggy.
divert you.
The the reason why I love Shaggy so much is because when I was younger, he always made me laugh. Shaggy was the comedic relief when it came to the Scooby Doo franchise, and I always loved him for that because he was so funny. It was always so entertaining to watch him anytime he was on screen. I was always so happy when I was able to see him and Scooby get into like stupid antics and like chase away the monsters. It's like Scooby's always like Raggy monsters. And Shaggy always it spikes, just running away. Just you just hear that signature cartoon like stepping noise, and then he just speeds off. And like another iconic thing about them is the way they run. Shaggy has that iconic run where he's just like his arms are a bit forward, but his back is like completely at like an acute angle, where his legs are just completely just like not even in line with his torso either. It's like the signature cartoon. What the hell is going on here? That's what makes it so funny. On top of that, like the way they are because of just how hungry they are, and of course this this was also kind of like a revealed thing by Hanna-Barbera Company. The reason why Shaggy and Scooby are always so hungry is because they're smoking weed all the time.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, fun fact because Shaggy and Scooby are actually, stoners. On top of that, there's also a reason why Shaggy and Scooby are, the ones who are the one, used as distractions to chase away the monsters so that they can be led into traps. Mainly because Scooby Doo, he's a dog, so he's already naturally fast. He's like, I think they reveal like the type of breed he is, although I think he's some sort of like kind of fuck. It's like a German Shepherd kind of breed.
Isn't
Forget what
he?
it is, but
Isn't he like a fucking alien dog or whatever? Like the one
well, I mean
movie.
that's yeah, that's it. Well, that's a theory. That's a theory that's never actually been
No, there
confirmed.
there was
It,
no there was a movie about Scooby and Skaggy, Scooby and
Gabby and
Shaggy,
Scoogy.
Scooby and Shaggy, where like the whole premise of it was that Scooby was like a descendant from an alien race, and that the alien race came back down to Earth. That was a
Well, yeah,
whole
that was a
movie.
plot. that was a plot in like what was it, Mystery Incorporated, like the early 2000s TV show, where there were animals who were actually descendants of aliens that came down, and they had the and gained the ability to speak, although it was never actually confirmed. It was never actually addressed within the show that Scooby was one of them, although he shared traits
No,
with them
the thing
that
I'm
confirmed that he
the
was.
thing I'm talking about is a newer movie. Like it came out like maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. It's a 3D Scooby Doo
Maybe.
movie. It's like a 3D animation Scooby Doo movie where
Oh,
it's
is it
like
called Scoob?
pretty sure, yeah.
Scoob, yeah. Well, that that actually didn't have anything to do with aliens.
Could have
The
swore,
three,
or it's like an Asian civilization or some shit. I never actually watched the movie. I only saw the trailers.
well, with the Scoob movie, that actually didn't have anything to do with aliens. That was a whole thing about like another like Hanna-Barbera villain named Dick Dastardly, where he was going to kidnap Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, in order to like use him for like an ancient ritual where he would steal treasure from the underworld.
I
And they fought
really,
Cerberus, which is kind of funny.
I really need to watch movies before I talk about them.
Well, I mean, there's probably another 3D animated Scooby-Doo movie out there where it's like a whole plot about that. There probably is, but yeah, I mean, the whole idea of Scooby-Doo being an alien, I mean, that's always been talked about and like debated, but yeah, I mean, I definitely do believe it, honestly. I mean, he's a talking dog. It's
Okay.
either
Oh
that or
no, never mind. Sorry.
it's either that or he just ate some edibles that made him have superpowers. It's either that or just Shaggy was zooted one night and he's like, Scoob, holy shit, dude, you can talk. Anyways, like I said, Shaggy. Shaggy, because Shaggy is just he was one of the greatest characters to watch when I was younger because of, like I said, his comedic relief. And like I said, like I was saying earlier, the reason why the gang makes them run is because Scooby, he himself is a dog, so he's just naturally fast. And Shaggy, fun fact, was actually on the track team in their high school.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, look at him.
Yeah, because Shaggy canonically, he's like 100 and what is he? 100 and like 45 pounds, 6'5".
That's really fucking light for 6'5". Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, considering how much he eats, he actually isn't that heavy.
Oh, he has a high,
But he is the
fucking
tallest.
fast metabolism.
Yeah, that's true. But there are scenes in the shows where he gets that cartoony beer belly, that pot belly he gets.
Yeah.
Although there's also another scene in Mystery Incorporated where him and Scooby eat so much that they just become like really fat, where they're like giant sumo wrestlers. That's one of the funniest parts because they're just like giant and big. They made that point. They made them do that because they were going up against an Oni demon that was dressed up as a sumo wrestler. Of course, just someone behind the mask. Of course.
Yeah.
Although even despite that, it's funny to think that Scooby and Shaggy aren't exactly able to gain weight. I mean, of course, it's also been confirmed that Shaggy, he has a fast metabolism. On top of that, he's a stoner, but he's also a really good chef.
Hmm. That makes sense. That
So
makes a lot of sense, actually.
Shaggy, Shaggy himself, he's actually a very skilled and intelligent person. It's just that he has a very scared attitude when it comes to any of the mysteries they try to solve because he isn't exactly the bravest person.
How the fuck did he end up doing that anyway? It's like,
Doing what?
how the fuck did he end up hunting ghosts, anyways?
Well, because there's always in every single instance of like Scooby-Doo lore, there's always been like a flashback that's revealed how the gang met. And it's always been the same thing. They met one night while trick-or-treating out on Halloween, and they stumbled upon someone who was stealing stuff from public places, and they just, arrested them. Well, Yeah, because they were kids at that point, and they just called the cops and got somebody arrested, which is kind of
What
which
are
is
they
kind of
gonna
funny.
do when one of these culprits pulls out a fucking gun and just shoots one of them?
Yeah, because that's something that's always been like addressed. It's like these bad guys, they have the money to like afford all this special effects equipment, all these costumes, all these props, but why don't they ever just buy fucking
Just
weapons?
buy a gun and just pop one of them in the head and say bye bye. Like, I'm
It's
sure
like why
they'll
don't
be
they
all up
just
for
like I
that.
don't it's like I don't know, why don't they just, like hire like why don't they just do like a mafia kind of thing? They just handle it in underground organized crime instead of, like dressing up in costumes and
Hire
shit.
someone to assassinate Scooby Doo.
If
Oh
you kill Scooby Doo,
God.
Shaggy's gonna go Ultra Instinct and
The
whoop your ass.
assassination of Scooby Doo. That sounds like a hell of a movie. The assassination of Scooby Doo.
My fellow Americans, this morning, this dear morning, Scooby Doo
Ruh-roh.
was regrettably assassinated.
His last word before he died was ruh-roh.
Then as you just hear his soul haunt the corridors of the mansion, Ree,
That
Ree.
was like my real laugh mixed with that.
He kind of turned into Woody Woodpecker there. Uh,
Oh my
but yeah,
god, we're barely 3 characters in and we're at 45 minutes, dude.
yeah, it's just
And
showing
I
how
have a
much we
list.
love
I
these
have a list of
franchises.
7. I have a list of like 10 characters here to go through.
I'm not even making a list. I didn't even make a list. I'm just going off of
I
characters that
did.
I know are
I
my
made I
favorites.
made a list of 10 characters.
But yeah, like I said, Shaggy,
This will be a long
he's
ass episode.
funny. Shaggy is funny. He's goofy. He's overall just like a scaredy pants when it comes to that kind of stuff. I was able to relate to him a lot when I was younger as well, which made me love him even more. So that's why I love him so much.
All right, let's
So
move
you
on
can
to
go ahead and
this
list off
next
your
one.
next character.
Um, Walter White from Breaking Bad. Walter. Walter, put your dick
Mr.
away,
White.
Walter. I'm not sucking your dick, Walter.
I'm not having sex with you, Walter.
Alright, okay, but seriously. So, Walter White. Oh, yeah, spoilers, possible spoilers for Breaking Bad in the next 15, 20 minutes, probably. Um, so, Walter White. He is like one of the most interesting characters I've ever seen in a show. Cause it's like he goes from a timid, just overqualified high school teacher trying to make ends meet to one of the biggest kingpins of all time. And it's like throughout the show
That's
you
the
can
Sigma male grindster right there.
it's like throughout the series you can see him becoming losing more and more of his original self. Like he goes from hell, I honestly think even like third I think only 3 episodes in he kills somebody. 3 episodes in. And it's like slowly you can see his character turn more and more into his character to the character he made for his drug dealer persona, Heisenberg.
Oh, listen, Hanfrein.
But yeah, it's
Or
like
you
so he
say
has his so
Heisenberg.
there's Walter. A lot of Breaking Bad fans and like theorists have it. So it's like there's actually 2 characters. There's Walter White and then there's Heisenberg. Walter White is who he is throughout most of season 1 and some of season 2. Well, Heisenberg is who he is through the rest of the series. Because, like, Walter White is, like, timid high school teacher who wouldn't even hurt a fly. Well, Heisenberg is the fucking badass drug dealer who killed the biggest fucking kingpin of all time, Gus Fring, and took his place. And fucking made over $80 million in 2 years. No, in 6 months, actually. And they had one of the largest meth productions of all time. Fucking killed legends among them. Had the highest purity of meth ever. with it was like 99 point something at one point of his purity. And yeah, it's like another thing about him. It's like there's this noticing thing where it's like every single person he kills, he gets some trait of their character, and that's what I want to. I'm trying. We're trying. I said we need to do like a speed round on these. We need to list because I got a whole list to go through. We need to just speed round a little bit. But yes, I like Walter White because he is an interesting character and fun to watch. All right, your turn. Next character. You good?
Hold on. Yeah, I just accidentally unplugged my mic from my phone. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Shit. Anyways, am I going next now?
Yes, go ahead. Make it
All right,
snappy.
another franchise, or well, like more or less franchise. It's just a book and like slash movie I want to talk about is The Outsiders. Oh, one of the greatest movies I've ever watched. Haven't read the book yet, but the movie, oh, is so good. I wanted to, and there's a character in that movie that I want to talk about. His name is well, he's the main character of the movie, Pony Boy. Pony Boy Curtis. I I I love that character mainly because, well, for one, not because he's the main character, but because with the things that he goes through throughout the movie, the choices he has to make, the things that he does, he's a great character. He's he's a bit timid. He's a bit timid. Timid yet careful. He's kind, although of course he's got a bit of a short temperament, mainly because of the people he hangs around. And in The Outsiders, have you seen The Outsiders movie, Mario?
Nope.
Okay, so The Outsiders movie is a whole movie about different gangs in a certain place, mainly split up into two groups, the greasers and the socials. The socials are the rich, like the complete high class of society. They're the rich part of everyone, the high class gang, and the greasers are the low class gang. All the poor, the ones that have to struggle to make do. And that's exactly what the greasers are in the movie. We follow a bunch of different, different characters: Soda Poppin', Dallas, Johnny, and of course our good old boy, Pony Boy. He's my favorite character in the movie. Like I said, he's really entertaining to watch. His story is interesting. His friends are awesome, and like he's like the whole person that tells the story of the outsiders themselves. And like him going through different things, like talking to girls, like him wanting to like be in relationships, although the danger he's in, and like towards and at the end of the movie he just like writing down everything that happened in his life. It's uh, Pony Boy is amazing. Now, lightning round, go ahead.
All right. So my next character is going to be um, Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel.
Nice choice.
So now Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel. Even though Hazbin Hotel is still like a relatively short series, it's like still its first season, and we didn't see much of Lucifer. I think that his character of like just like the dad doing what he can, here kind of trope is kind of overused, but they do it right with him, in the way where he's able to shift his view to want to help his daughter. Also, I really, really like the scene where he just beat the fuck out of Adam.
Yeah, that was it. You think you can come in me and my daughter?
Then he was just like, "No, I'm going to fuck you." Just fucking Adam.
How many of you freaks do I need to kill? Oh, I'm the only one that matters. You see, you mess with my daughter, and now I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah. Like, it's like the oblivious, like not knowing the correct terms and shit type deal is kind of funny too. Also, his
Yeah,
design
so
his design works really well with how Hell's general vibe is. Also his obsession with rubber ducks is kind of funny too.
yeah, I also noticed recently that his jacket is an apple core.
Yeah. Also that his like staff or whatever has apple on the tip of it.
It's funny to think about because in the Bible, the forbidden fruit itself was actually described as a pomegranate.
Well, yeah. Pomegranate, schmomegranate.
Eh.
All right. Like I said, speed round. It's your turn.
All right, another character that I like from fiction, I'm going to go ahead and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donatello. The reason why I like Donatello so much in TMNT is because, well, for one, I related to him a lot when I was younger. I was a nerd. I was very nerdy. I
You're
still am
still,
very
yeah,
nerdy.
about to say you're still a fucking nerd.
Oh yes, I am very yes, I am a big nerd. Thank you very much for noticing.
Oh God.
On top of that, on top of that, he's always like picked on by his brothers, and hell, I was always picked on by my brothers. But hey,
Aren't
that's
you like
brothers.
the first,
Anyways,
second, or third oldest?
yeah, he's well, actually, all the Ninja Turtles are actually. Fun fact: all the Ninja Turtles are actually the same age. They're actually all the same age. It's just the way they act and the way they are, the way they behave. They're treated a different way. Leonardo is treated as the oldest because he's the most, he's the most precise. He's what's that fucking word?
Mature.
Contempt. He's a very contempt character. Donatello, he's the like treated as the second oldest because he's the one who is always trying to be the most responsible and the most careful. He's always trying to plan everything out. Although he barely ever listens to Leo,
And
most
he's
like like pretty much
he's
like
the
everyone else.
he's
Raph,
one of the
he's
only
got a short
ones.
temper. He is also treated as one of the younger brothers. Michelangelo, he's goofy and barely ever listens, which is why he's always treated as the youngest. But anyways,
Donatello's one of the only ones who gets bitches.
Donatello, yeah, yeah. To think that a young teenage girl would want to have
Okay.
sex with a
God. No.
anyway, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. Are you
Teenage
though?
Mutant Bestiality, Teenage Mutant Bestiality, Teenage Mutant Bestiality.
Oh,
She had sex with a turtle. Holy
I,
fucking shit.
I'm using that clip in the promotion, by the way.
I hope you do. But like I said, Donatello also because his love of like technology and like biology. I'm interested in the field of biology and science as well, along with technology, engineering, and all that kind of stuff. And like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, TMNT overall as a franchise when I was younger was just very special to me. Donnie's my favorite. All right, go ahead, lightning round.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, so my next one is um uh Bond from the Seven Deadly Sins. So Bond's whole deal is pretty much he is a immortal character. He um became immortal, saving the woman that he loved. His like standard trope of like self-sacrifice or whatever, and like he spends his entire time trying to figure out a way to bring her back. And at one point he comes in like what's the word he ends up getting this deal where if he kills Meliodas or his best friend, that his lover would be brought back, and he comes with that like hard decision of deciding between his lover and his best friend. And in the end of the day, he ends up picking his lover over his best friend, which was like a big like point where Bond's character changed, realizing how selfish he could be. And there's the whole thing of like him giving up his immortality to bring his girlfriend back to life, which he ended up doing eventually. And it's like his character evolved because Bond is the sin of greed. Is Bond the fox sin of greed? And his whole thing is greedy character when, in the end of the day, he was the least greedy. He was the most selfless character in the show, debatably, because he gave up immortality, something that made him pretty much unkillable, something he could have done anything he wanted with, and he gave it up for another person. And I think that's a really cool part of his character, the evolution he goes through. All right, your turn.
Beautiful. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the Cthulhu mythos, specifically when it comes to H.P. Lovecraft and horror. My favorite character from that is a character called Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep is a cosmic horror level being. He is incredibly destructive, and he is really, overall, he's like a god of mischief. When it comes to him, he's one of the old ones, specifically gods that are labeled in the Cthulhu mythos that are of higher beings above anything else. Although when it comes to the old ones, they don't really care or even dabble within human affairs or even anything that is remotely below them. Nyarlathotep doesn't care to do this much either, although he enjoys toying with humans' insanity. And he has made humans go insane before from his mere presence. I mean, anyone who has ever witnessed the Old One's presence have always gone insane, although Nyarlathotep, he loves toying and experimenting with beings that are below him. Although he doesn't care about destruction, he just cares about experimentation, which, like the sadistic nature of a gigantic and powerful, godlike being, is very interesting in contrast to most other beings within the Cthulhu mythos themselves. That's all I have to say about that lightning round. Go ahead.
All right, talk about a mouthful. Okay, so my next character, a little bit less than yours. As Death from A Comic Got Kill. Why? She is a woman who would kick my ass and would not apologize for it afterwards. But at the same time, yes. Also, titties, and
We're getting into kinks with this one.
I will leave it at that. Your turn.
We're getting into kinks with this one. All right, another one of my favorite characters from fiction is from a cartoon called Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge being my favorite DreamWorks animated movie, and the character is Manny, a squirrel. A squirrel in Over the Hedge who's like always hyperactive, who's always just completely goofy the entire time, and is voiced by Steve Carell, the voice actor for Gru. He's very Manny is always enjoyable to watch. Anytime he's on screen, he's always hyperactive. He's always goofy. He's like comedic relief throughout the entire movie. When it comes to a lot of characters, I always love them in the sense that they're comedic relief. I love to laugh. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Manny. Go ahead, lightning round.
So we're an hour. Okay, so I have a surprise section of this. So we're not just listing off our favorite characters. We're gonna put our characters in a match to the death to decide out of who the characters we chose are the strongest.
Okay. That's gonna be interesting considering the characters that I picked.
Yeah. Don't
Some
worry.
of them are just human, and one of them's a talking squirrel.
Alright, okay, so I made sure to write down the characters you chose. So your characters were Gohan, Shaggy, Ponyboy, Donatello, whatever the fuck Levitath dude, and Manny the Squirrel. While mine were Lucifer from Hazbin Hotel, Adam from Record of Ragnarok, Walter White, Escanor, Bon, and Esdeath.
The only one, okay, the only ones that like have a chance at the sake of like fighting are like Gohan and Nyarlathotep.
Give me one
Shaggy,
second.
Manny, and Ponyboy are they're not gonna win.
So what I have on my and the ones I said were Lucifer, Hazbin Hotel, Adam Reckon of Ragnarok, Bond, Seven Deadly Sins, Escanor, Seven Deadly Sins, Walter White from Breaking Bad, and Esdeath from A Comedy Got Kill.
It's an interesting. Although, to be fair, Manny from Over the Hedge is like, he's incredibly overpowered. I mean, he was able to stop time. So
As hey
I'm
hey
just
hey,
saying,
as Death can freeze time too.
yeah, but can he do it with an energy drink?
I
Can he
don't
do it
know.
with
Maybe.
two?
I
Can he
don't
do it with
know.
two cookies?
I don't know. Maybe she can. I
Can
don't
he
know.
do it with cocaine and Adderall?
I mean, Walter White could probably make some crazy meth, but all right.
Chocolate chip
All
cookies.
right, so these are the characters we got. We got Lucifer. Okay, let's just do it down the list. We got Lucifer versus Gohan, Adam versus Shaggy, Ponyboy versus Bon, Donatello
Okay.
versus Escanor,
Okay.
Near 11th versus Walter White, and Manny the Squirrel versus Esdeath.
I gotta say, Walter White versus Nyarlathotep, that's gonna be a pretty close match. Like Heisenberg's power level, along with the absolute power of Nyarlathotep.
All
There's
right,
like, that's gonna be a battle of the ages,
all right.
man.
Lucifer versus Gohan. What do you think?
Go, yeah, like I'm just gonna say go on.
I honestly think Lucifer, because if you think about it, how power scaling wise, Lucifer is the actual devil, and like from the Bible. So
Oh, well, he's the devil from Has Been Hotel, and the way Lucifer is in the Bible is a bit different.
I don't know about. No, I'm
For
kidding.
for
but
one, he doesn't. For one, he
but
doesn't have drip.
consider that he is a archangel.
That's a good point.
No, he is a seraphim. So consider that
Yeah,
point. Seraphims are pretty strong, you know. They're pretty damn powerful. They're kind of swole, you know.
not swole.
They're kind of swole. So I honestly say Lucifer takes it. In
I
all
don't know. I'm
honesty.
saying Gohan.
So how are we gonna break this tie then?
Rock paper scissors.
How I don't have my webcam plugged in.
We'll just type in our chat.
But how's that supposed? Okay.
We'll
Okay.
just type it. We'll just type
We'll
it in at once. Hold on. Let's. Where's our chat? Wait,
just
we'll
do it
just
in
do
general.
DM. Well,
No, just do it
yeah,
in
DM
general.
direct in
Just
the
do it
general chat. All
general.
right.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that chat? Oh, okay, right here.
Okay.
All
Tell
right,
me
hold
what.
on, hold on.
Yep.
Okay, 3, 2,
Two.
1, hit
One.
enter.
Fuck! I lost.
Ha!
No. Fuck. Okay.
Ha
okay. Okay. Fine. Lucifer is out. All right. Next one.
Gohan
Shaggy.
wins.
Shaggy versus Adam from Record of Ragnarok.
Now I'm just saying, when Shaggy goes Ultra Instinct, it's gonna be a bit
I'm
tough for
just
Adam.
saying, what are you gonna do when Adam copies his Ultra Instinct and uses it against him?
What are you gonna do when Shaggy offers Adam a blunt and they both get high off their mind and they're like, you know what? Let's not fight. Let's chill. Peace and love and
What are you
Kush.
gonna do when Adam says he's the original stoner?
Then Shaggy's gonna be like, all right, that's lit. Let's get high.
What's he gonna do when Adam says that the leaf on his crotch is actually a doobie? Whoops it out, rolls in, smokes it. Smokes the crotch
Then,
doobie. What do
Sha-
you do then?
then Shaggy's gonna be like, holy shit, that's lit. Let me give you some head. Like Zoinks.
Different. We got a different kind of competition here then. Oh god, I can't say that. Oh no.
Oh god,
I was
no.
gonna say who finishes last, but never mind.
Oh god. Hey, who finishes the blunt last?
But
Whoever is last in the rotation.
I personally say Adam takes it in both contexts, but
Fair enough. Shaggy's the ultimate stoner.
so point to Adam then. All right. Okay, now we got Bond from Seven Deadly Sins versus Ponyboy Curtis.
Let me say this.
We got Bond who is literally immortal.
But Ponyboy dyed his hair.
He's very derisive, right?
Yes. He dyed his hair. Beat that.
Bond was born with silver hair, so his hair was born dyed, bitch.
But here's the thing. Ponyboy bought a Coca-Cola for a woman.
But hear me this. Bond gave his immortality to a woman.
We're just having a simp off here. Who's the bigger simp?
Actually, that's actually a good idea. Instead of fights, for ones that are like obviously fighting, we'll pick something else to have them go against him.
Yeah, but when it comes to Ponyboy, he never really gave up anything for women. It was always for his boys. Ponyboy was one of the boys.
Bond almost killed his boy, so
Yeah, so
fuck. Okay.
Ponyboy, that's the thing. Ponyboy was never a simp.
But we're doing
Don't
this
get me
in who's
wrong.
the bigger simp, so
Bond obviously wins with the bigger simp.
okay. Pony boy. Ooh, this next one is gonna be. Oh, bro, we should have done the bigger simp for Donatello and Escanor.
Ah, shit.
You know what? Never mind. We'll give the who's the most boys for the boys type dude. We'll give it to Pony.
Ponyboy.
No, this
Ponyboy
next
for the
one.
boys.
This next one, the biggest simp, Escanor against Donatello.
Who's the bigger simp? This is actually a great one.
Escanor or Donatello?
That's a good question. So let's see. In the TMNT Nickelodeon franchise, Donatello completely sent off his brothers to another mission so that he could be alone with April so that he could talk with her.
Escanor died for a woman just to never have his feelings received, but loved her until the end, and only got reciprocated by a kiss as he died. He literally fought the demon lord just to not have his feelings reciprocated and be stolen by another man, but still proceed to love Merlin.
Fair enough. But
Fair enough.
But let me inquire this.
Yes, butts are like the main part of simping. I get it.
Yes, ass cheeks, but voluptuous badunkadunks.
Okay.
The things that you want to go boo. Anyways, as I was saying, Donatello, when April did not want to talk to the turtles anymore, from turning her father into a gigantic mutated bat, when she rejected any announcement of any sort of mutants, he was always trying to fight for her and win back her heart through so many different means, and even curing her dad. Boom.
Give me 1 second.
Fuck me 1 second.
Give me 1 second. No, Escanor's done some pretty weird shit for Merlin.
Chinese men having sex. Fuck me in 1 second. 1 second.
God, man. Escanor simp moment.
Just looking through Escanor simp moments.
Oh my god, there's a Reddit thread called Escanor simp.
Did you actually Google it?
Yes, I did.
Let's see. When was Escanor a simp?
Alright, Escanor doesn't do it for pussy. He genuinely loves Merlin. There we go. Give me 1 second. He gave up his sunshine powers so that the original demon would die, because Mael would beat the original demon, and also so that he could live life with Merlin. He gave up strength for a woman. I can say there's more symmetry than that.
That's a good point. I got nothing. He wins.
Ha! Get fucked. Alright. Now we have Near Lebetath versus Walter White.
I gotta say, this is a pretty close
What
fight.
are we gonna do the verses on though?
Walter White, I mean, when he turns into Heisenberg, his power level is just...
Look at the
power level is
Transfer.
over 1,000,000.
He shaves his head and he just gains 10 IQ.
I guess we could make it to the point where it's like the category of insanity.
Who's the biggest dick?
Yeah, who's the biggest dick? Okay.
No, who has the biggest dick?
Okay. Well,
Oh shit!
well,
Almost fell over.
why don't you look up some images of Nyarlathotep?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I refuse. Okay, so not that. Who is less
Hold on a sec.
morally sound? Maybe.
Who's the less what?
Who is less morally sound character? Who has the worst morals?
Worst morals?
Yes, who has?
I mean,
in our opinion.
well, I mean, Nyarlathotep, he doesn't care about a human race or anything really. He just enjoys doing his own thing. So
Walter
he
White
doesn't
sold
even
meth
he doesn't
to
even like
people.
care about destroying the human race either. He's not a destroyer, so he just does what he does.
Walter White gave meth to people. He killed a couple of drug dealers. He blew up a nursing home one time.
Well, there are old people inside the nursing home still.
Yes.
I feel it. Yeah, that's kind of hard to beat.
He blew up the
A god of
nursing. He set off a pipe bomb in a nursing home to kill one of his rivals.
Yeah, like I said, a god of insanity being outbeat by a redneck from New Mexico.
He is not a redneck. I'll tell you that now.
Well, a meth dealer from New Mexico. I think Heisenberg takes the cake.
Okay, sure. All right, we got Manny the Squirrel versus Esdeath. Let's do this.
I'm just saying, Manny the Squirrel.
Let's do this based on who has the No, I can't say that.
Was the what?
Never mind.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying, Manny the Squirrel. Manny the Squirrel normally, he can run at Mach speeds. And when he drinks an energy drink, time stops.
Esdeath can freeze the entire ocean. She can freeze time as a whole.
That's a good point, but Manny can also freeze time.
So are we just doing this based off who's faster then, or like who's more of a crackhead? Who's more insane?
I think all categories check the boxes here.
Okay, we'll just do this in a standard versus fight then.
Yeah, who would win in a fucking one-on-one
the fucking
dueling match?
a fucking queen of death versus a squirrel, with energy drinks.
Not just any squirrel. Not just any squirrel. Manny the Squirrel.
He's not a squirrel. He's the squirrel.
He is the one.
He is the squirrel.
Now,
I think this is a tie. Honestly, I can see this going either way.
yeah, this is definitely a tie.
We'll have it a tie. All right. So you have your remaining characters are Gohan, Pony, and Manny. Mine are Adam, Escanor, Walter, and Esdeath. I win by 1 point. I win by one character.
Yep. I'm actually fucking light. I'm in a light. Yeah, like I said, I'm in my restroom right now. I'm lightheaded because I just farted.
I don't need to know that. Oh god! All right.
How long have we been recording for?
Hour and 17 minutes.
Jesus Christ.
I know we usually stop at about an hour, but we took so long talking about fucking Shaggy. So.
Okay. Let's
Well, that's all I got planned for this episode.
All right, go ahead, our host.
Okay, if you guys enjoyed this confusing episode that I planned out here, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down what other type of shit you guys want to see. We'll do anything for money, so just keep that in mind. Use code slapdash at w.gg for 10% off any purchase. And we will see you all on the next one.
I love gay men.